Welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is the Barely There podcast. The Bears winners of 7-8. We got the steel curtain coming in. They apply pressure. How's Caleb going to get around it? The defense is getting some help. Well, maybe not this week, but it's coming really, really soon. We're going to get into all that right after this. Maybe.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars align. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
Last thing, the most important piece is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
You know what? Until we're not Kings of the North, I'm playing that every opening.
You should. You should.
How we doing today, Jay?
Oh, good, man. We had a good week at darts. I think we won, 12 games last night, so that was pretty good. Both of us lost our lighters. I don't know where the hell they went, but they're gone. And other than that, I mean, everything else is good. How about you?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm a little tired. It was a late night. My Jayhawks took one on the nose, but we were shorthanded. And I'll be honest, we lost by 12, but I've never walked away from a game feeling so encouraged. I mean, we took Duke to the limit up until the 4-minute mark, ran out of gas. So we had Connor Bedard last night get his second hat trick of
his career and this season, which is insane. He is on fire this year.
He's on pace for 125 points, dude, and that's just amazing. That's just amazing.
Well, that one goal he hustled down because it was an empty, not an empty net, but it was flung down to the other side of the ice, and he chased that puck down and just at the last second got it right in and 5-holed the goalie, which is amazing. But I don't know how you do that. I don't think the goalie was expecting the puck to be shot at him, but. Man, I'll tell you what, if that kid keeps that up, he's I think 5th in scoring right now overall.
Yeah, he's on pace. That generational tag is starting to come out on him. He's fun to watch, and I'm telling you guys, if you're not watching the Hawks, dude, this is appointment television now. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. What they're doing right now, they're first in the wild card, but holy crap, man, they are fun to watch. They're fast. Oliver Moore is starting to come on. Artem is playing great on the back end.
They're scoring and stacking talent too, Sean. Yeah. There's guys coming up in the pipeline. So once these guys are developed, there's just going to be like a never-ending stream, seemingly of young talent coming up. So I can't wait.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are working on getting a Blackhawks podcast going. Working to iron out some wrinkles, trying to figure out a day and get a couple people. Mikey, if you're out there, you're still interested, maybe you want to jump on, maybe not every week, but every once in a while, that would be great. But we're trying to work it out. I got a couple hockey nuts that want to do it. They're breathing down my neck because they're really excited about the Hawks. So look forward to that here in the next couple of weeks. We'll hopefully be able to get that rolling. But on to the lakefront, the Bears return home, winners of 7 of their last 8. But before we get into this preview, my friends, we have some returning superstars. And yeah, I mean superstars, because to me, Kyler Gordon and Jaylon Johnson are exactly that. And for the people who missed it today, Jaylon Johnson put this up. I believe it's on his Instagram, but this was him today, and this is encouraging for him.
Ready, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, time. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, dude, when you have a muscle torn off of the bone, it's good to see that resistance training, the cutting, the moving. I mean, listen, I really hope he's back this week, but we really need this guy if we're going to make any type of push this year. So, if we got to sit both of them one more week, I guess I'm fine with that. But, man, you really hope they both stay healthy for the rest of the week. Edwards is probably going to have a cast on his hand for most of the rest of the season.
That's okay.
But I think he might be back before the other two, to be honest with you, because he can play with the club. I think it's just healing up that groin. So, and hey, you know what? To be honest with you, if you got to sit Kyler Gordon another week, CJ Gardner-Johnson is playing out of his mind right now. So, what a great pickup.
That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. Bear down, Trey, man. Thanks for jumping in, brother. What's going on, James? Thanks for jumping in. Bear down, my friend. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. The kind of things that the Bears can do once they get Kyler Gordon back with this addition of CJ Gardner-Johnson. And, got some cliff notes here. Points allowed, and now the Bears are 5-3 without Kyler Gordon. They're 2-0 with Kyler Gordon. But in the games that he played, the Bears allowed 19 points. Without him, they've averaged giving up about 28 rush yards allowed in the 2 games that he was in. 84 yards without. We all know it's up to about 145. He's such a versatile player. With him and CJ Gardner-Johnson, you can almost make them interchangeable. You can blitz Gordon on both sides. You can move him around. You can almost use him to cover a tight end. You can use him to cover a wide receiver. The versatility and the different things that Dennis Allen can do when he gets his dogs back, like a shutdown corner. And I think, we've talked about this many of times on the show that we watched him turn lemons into lemonade. And I mean, he's doing the best that he can without his 3 best players. And I think we all remember when Dennis Allen came here, the first thing he mentioned, and the only person he mentioned, was Kyler Gordon. So getting that Swiss Army knife back, getting that immediate boost in coverage when you do get Johnson and Gordon back, especially as we look down the schedule with Pittsburgh, which they probably will not be in the game this week. I think they might push for that Philadelphia game, maybe one or both. But then after that, with we got Green Bay twice, San Francisco and Detroit, plethora of receivers. I left Cleveland out.
You're not worried about their offense, though.
Yeah, I'm not worried about their offense. I'm worried about 95, but
yeah, you know what, Sean? And it's interesting you said that, like what Dennis Allen could do. I mean, think about it. You could even put them both on the field at the same time. What kind of fits is that going to cause for opposing offensive coordinators? Like, you don't know where the blitz is coming from.
Yep.
You don't even need your offensive line to get a sack because it's probably going to be coming from one of those 2 guys. And I'll be honest with you, once Jaylon Johnson comes back, I think Jaylon Johnson doesn't just make the secondary better. I think he really does, obviously, improve Tyreek Stevenson's going to take some of that weight off of him. But I think just from the flat-out coverage aspect of it, it might give the defensive line the time it needs to get home a little bit more often. So, look, I think the Bears are doing admirably on defense, and I think they're doing admirably as a team as a whole. They're not where we want them to be, but man, you almost have visions in your brain of what could be if we were fully healthy. So, who knows?
Yeah.
There's still a lot of the cleanup on both sides of the ball, though.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying, or what I was, alluding to was Gordon's versatility in the slot helps neutralize tight ends, crossing routes, different RPO looks. Getting Jaylon and Gordon and Edwards back instantly tightens up the windows, increases. I mean, the Bears are taking the ball away at a rapid speed, but I think it also helps your takeaway chances, forces your opponents to play a little bit slower. And getting Edwards back stabilizes the middle of the defense. And, we've talked about this. An area the Bears have struggled immensely is right over the middle. And when Edwards was in there, and, he's only been in there very limited this year, but you saw that improve when Edwards was on the field.
You get his brain in there, too, as a play caller, defensive play caller, which is very important.
That is a great point, Jay, because he is one of the best communicators on the Bears defense. Signal call, you get your signal caller back. I mean, in a nutshell, I've been down like, man, I don't know if this team could advance, could beat playoff teams, so on and so forth. You get these 3 back, and the offense tightens up some of the little things that are wrong, like missing
hitting open receivers.
Yeah, I think that
hitting open receivers deep in the backfield.
Yeah, and you just think about it when Dennis Allen does have all his guys back, dude. The more sophisticated defense that he can run, more creative disguises that he can run with these guys out there as well. You're going from, no offense, Nick McLeod to a Jaylon Johnson. I think Deshaun Wright has actually earned some.
He's playing really, really well. Yeah.
But you're going to probably have both of them off the field with these guys coming back. So I'm really, really excited. And for those who don't know, check out the Chicago Bears website today. They had pictures of Kyler Gordon doing about everything you want to see him do during practice today. So that was really, 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 really nice to see. So
yeah, and you know what? By the way, nobody here at 4 Stars is saying that the Bears are all of a sudden going to have a number one defense when these guys come back. But the marginally, they're going to be much better. I mean, we can't deny it. They're going to be a little bit more difficult to game plan for. They're going to be a little bit more difficult to attack as an offense, and that's really all you can ask for at this point. We still need a big time edge rusher. We still need a better linebacking. We still have tons of holes and things to fix. But man, when you shore up that secondary, it's going to help and cascade down to those other two parts of that defense, which is the linebacking crew and of course the defensive line. So. I'm excited to see these guys come back. I don't want to see them get hurt because we're also going to need them for next year too, right? So all 3 of those guys were extended. So I mean, they're here for a while, guys. They're going to be Bears for a while. So you definitely don't want to ruin their careers. Just trying to push them in a little bit too quick. Because look, let's be honest with you, the schedule is brutal, like we were just saying. Yeah. And look, if the Bears somehow, let's say, make a wild card, we don't win the division, we make a wild card and we lose. Isn't that still a win for a Bears?
Oh, 100%.
Last year only won 5 games and looked maybe the record didn't show, looked like the worst team in football.
I honestly think, Jay, this is already a winning season for us, man, no matter what happens the rest of the way, because you just look at this coaching staff and you say, wow, man, what a difference a year makes, the competency that's on the sideline. Obviously there's been, I questioned Ben Johnson this past weekend. I didn't understand unless DeAndre Swift, wasn't 100% healthy. I mean, towards the end of that game, he was just gashing them. Why he went to Monungai. Monungai immediately was tackled behind the line twice.
Yeah.
I just stick with your hot hand. And if Monungai was hot, I'd be saying the same thing. Why would you bring in Swift? Well, Monungai's out there running 5 yards a clip. I mean, he was absolutely dominating him. I didn't understand that, but you know what? He's learning as well. And I think
he'd probably tell you that if you asked him about it. I think he would say I made a lot of mistakes. The team made a lot of mistakes. He doesn't hide shit. And he did not look happy after the game. They won. He was walking off the field, looked like he was ready to kill somebody.
100%. And you know what? So did Caleb Williams.
Yes, they both
did not have a smile on his face.
Okay, I'm so happy you brought this up because I wanted to mention it last week and I totally forgot. I think one of the most impressive things that I've seen so far from a growth standpoint is it's almost like the coach and Johnson and Caleb are now literally they're starting to see things the same way. They're starting to see the philosophy of what the offense should be the same way. You're seeing Caleb start to become a leader and sort of parrot all of these things that Johnson is saying, and not just to simply be a parrot and repeat and regurgitate. He's believing in it and he's spreading the word and getting this team hey, let's step on the throats because Ben Johnson wants to win by 30 points every game. He doesn't want to win by 1 point. So I think they both recognize their mistakes and they're both working at it, and that's really at this point all we can ask for. Because again, I think we all agree they're not necessarily a Super Bowl team. Anything can happen. I'll be very happy if something like that does happen, but there's some really good teams in the NFC. I just don't see the Bears beating the playoffs.
And you know what? I think you said something about this just a few minutes ago, Jay, about the pass rush. I think getting Gordon and Johnson,
going to help them.
It gives the defensive line maybe another half a second to get to the quarterback. So I think that's a huge part. This is the second, the video we played earlier. That's the second video in the last week that Jaylon Johnson has posted of his workouts. And obviously today was the first time we got to see Kyler Gordon out on a field. And I don't believe, as long as TJ Edwards is okay with that club on his hand, I think we'll be seeing TJ Edwards on a football field this Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that's a big enough boost. If we just get TJ Edwards back, what that means, guys, is that means that you're going to have more often than not players in the right positions. Right? Yeah. Hey, get over here. No. Hot read's over here. You need to come. That's all that means. And sometimes that's all you need. And that's really when you have a defense predicated on takeaways. And remember back in the Urlacher days and the Lovey days, that's where it was. You just need to be in the right spot at the right time, and good things are going to happen. Those guys still to this day preach that stuff when you hear them on the score or whatever. That's all they say is, look, you don't need to win every single play. Just be in the right spot, and good things are going to happen. So I think it's a great defense to watch, even though I probably won't live through this season, but it's fun. And I think TJ Edwards, like you're saying, he could even help the offensive line. Let's be perfectly honest with you, just by making sure everybody's set up properly, calling the right play. You can audible on defense too. I don't know if people don't really talk about that. You have your base out there most of the time, but you could say, hey, look, we're a blitz. No, we're not going to blitz here. Let's drop back into coverage because this is going to be a pass. That's the type of guy we need in there that we don't get. I mean, I love Edmonds a lot. That guy's having a career year right now, but it's just I don't think he's the football brains of that defense.
Yeah, and I like this note here by Mikey. He says, if we win and the Rams lose, we play the Eagles on Turkey dates, be Black Friday, for the number 1 seed in the conference.
That's insane.
That would be someplace 11, 12 weeks ago. I did not think we'd be talking about, but God, I hope we are.
I mean, it's insane. And look, if we keep winning all these games by 1 point, I know the competition hasn't been great, but you can only play who's in front of you. So, if we keep winning games, I don't care if it's by 1 point or 300 points. You don't get extra wins if you win by more points. You still get a win. So,
right. And Romy asks if he thinks we're going to have any of them back for this week. I don't think Gordon and Johnson will be back this week. TJ Edwards is not on the injury report at all. And I didn't actually get a chance to see if he played, but I heard he was only going to miss 1 week. And obviously we'll have these answers for you guys on the Sunday show before kickoff at 10 a.m. right here on the 4-Star Chicago Sports Network as we break down our final thoughts before kickoff. I think practice, Thursday and Friday is going to tell us a lot. I guess looking at Kyler Gordon and where he was today, stretching, running side to side, on the practice field. Maybe he'll get up there today, but what's his Ben Johnson. Sorry, I can't think of his name for a second. Ben Johnson in his press conference today said they were going to be very cautious with Jaylon Johnson and Kyler Gordon, and they were going to make sure that they take the right approach so when they come back, they stay back. And I think
that's tell you this. Sean, I can tell you this.
Good production right now of the players that replacing them. So
right. And Romy, here's the thing. If we're following just the history, when Austin Booker, I think the 21-day window opened, and then he came back on the 3rd week, right? So if we follow that progress, we know Jaylon Johnson was last week when the 21-day window opened. This would be a 2nd week. You would expect him then back for Philadelphia. And Gordon, I don't know, his injury wasn't as severe as the other 2 guys, so maybe he could be back this week, but I would suspect it's going to be at least 1 week before he comes back because he was literally just taking off the thing like yesterday or today, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think yesterday, in the last day or so. But and I'm with you, Dwayne. I don't think that any. I think TJ Edwards might have a chance to play if he's comfortable with that club. I think you throw him out there because just him being out there, his tackling ability, the brains of the defense, your signal caller. If he's comfortable with that club, you get him out there. It's not like it's a hamstring or anything. He had surgery. He's got a club. We've seen players throughout the years in the NFL play with the club. Bizzo Joe says TJ was a DMP today. I don't know why he wasn't on the list, on the Bears official list at all.
Well, what's crazy is he has a cast, but they're saying groin. So I don't know.
No, that's Edmonds. Jermaine Edmonds.
Oh, that's Edmonds. Sorry. Yeah. But TJ Edwards, I don't know.
I think he should play. I think he should play if he's coming. But you know what? We'll see. And again, as we get into this Pittsburgh game, I mean, the one thing that worries you the most, and we'll have to see. I believe Jaylen Warren was a DMP as well today for the Steelers. He got hurt. But Kenneth Gainwell has done an admirable job filling in. They do have the rook Caleb Johnson there as well. He hasn't looked fantastic.
Higher hopes for that guy.
Yeah, I had really big hopes for that guy. But it just I didn't see him on the list. Jermaine Edwards. Hold on, let me put this back up. Am I not reading it?
TJ Edwards is 4th down there.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. I'm blind as a bat. I don't know why he's not on this list. He's fourth on the list. Jesus. You know what? I told you guys when I kicked off the show, I am extremely tired today. I'm barely holding my head above water. So if I make mistakes, I apologize today, ladies and gentlemen, because I am exhausted beyond belief. But we're going to get through this together because the Bears do. So we will too. As we move into this Pittsburgh game, Pittsburgh's coming in, obviously, the leaders of the NFC North right now. All time, the Steelers are 8-19-1 against the Bears, including being 1-12 all time at Soldier Field. And I think as we break this game down here, Jay, Roma Dunze, and this is something I wanted to get out there right away, especially for you fantasy guys in the chat or in the world who watch this. It's going to be a great week for Rome, I believe. Roma Dunze has played 4 defenses that run man coverage at a top 10 rate this season. The Lions, he went for 7 for 128, 2 touchdowns. The Ravens, 7 for 114. The Giants, 6 for 86, 1 touchdown. The Commanders, worst performance, 2 for 32. He did have that touchdown nullified in that game, so he should have had a touchdown against them. The Steelers, my friend, play the 5th most man coverage and are dead last in points per game allowed to wide receivers. So I think we're going to see a lot of Roma Dunze in this game. Dial this man up because this looks like a prime target for him. A prime great day for him. Bears,
he's a big receiver, Sean. So, the man-to-man matchup with most DBs in the league is going to be beneficial to him. So, you hope that we can maybe get him the ball and he can catch it and secure the catch. We hope we don't overthrow him. But I did hear a stat.
Thanks, guys.
But I did hear a stat that Ben Johnson is leading the league in offensive coordinators in getting wide receivers open. Yeah. Now, there's two sides of that coin, right? We're getting a lot of guys open, but we're also not hitting them, right? So we got to do both of those things very well. But I think a man coverage suits him more, whereas a press coverage is going to suit DJ Moore better because DJ Moore is just so elusive. You press him, next thing you know, he jukes you and he's gone. He's gone. Whereas, Rome is more of your go up and get it guy. I'm 2-3 inches taller than you. I can jump higher than you, and I'm bigger than you. I'm going to overpower you. I personally hope and pray that he does very well because I started him in fantasy this week. But I also am hoping that we keep utilizing both of these tight ends. Last week it seemed to use all 3 of them, but let's keep throwing these guys 5-6 targets at least a game, and let's get them involved.
Yeah, and when you look at this, too, the run game obviously is going to be a very big factor. The Bengals went last week 22 for 105 in a losing effort to the Steelers at 4.8 yards per carry. Chase 18 for 99. He averaged 5.5 a carry. Jonathan Taylor, though, and this is kind of the Jekyll and Hyde. So you don't know what Steelers team you're going to get. Here comes the guy who I think should be the MVP of the league right now, and Jonathan Taylor. They hold him to 14 for 45 and 3.3 per carry. You didn't see that coming. But then the week before that, the Chargers go off, for 25 for 115. So you just don't know what you're getting out of this defense. But their total defense is 12th overall, allowing 326 yards per game. Opponents' points per game, they're 7th, allowing 20.8 points per game. So this is something that we talk about this a lot, a rock fight. This, I think, is going to be another rock fight, low-scoring ball game for many, many reasons, and we're going to get into some of those. Jay, give me some of your thoughts on this defense and some of the keys for the Bears that the Bears are going to have to exploit in order to be effective against this defense.
Yeah, listen, we were talking about it beforehand, and I'm trying to find it right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I know the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've actually gotten much better defensively. Their secondary has actually improved. Like you were saying, against Cincinnati, they held 2 very good wide receivers to not a lot. They stopped a pretty prolific running back. But I will tell you this, they're still giving up a lot of yardage, and they're still giving up a lot of passing yardage.
Yeah.
Rushing, they do fairly well. They're sort of front half of the league there, but we can exploit it. And if we can get these guys open like we have been getting them schemed open and hit them and they can catch it, I think we have a very good chance of winning this game. Really, honestly, the big thing here to get that passing game going is going to be obviously the run game, but the matchup between our offensive line and that Pittsburgh defensive line. If we can just keep Caleb upright and not, I know he's a great scrambler, but I always get afraid of that because I don't know how sustainable just, constantly rolling out.
Running for your life.
Right. So, I mean, sometimes it's designed, sometimes it's not, but I think he has a really good sense and feel for it. We just got to keep him upright, keep him in the pocket, and I think we're going to have a pretty good matchup. But, that defensive line of Pittsburgh, they're number one in we're really like they allow the lowest time to throw against opposing quarterbacks, which means they're doing better than everybody else. They're like top 5 in pressures. They're just a really good defensive line. And again, if their secondary keeps going, and I think that's where the Jekyll and Hyde thing comes in, if their secondary isn't playing very well, or they're just getting torched by these man coverage issues, then we should be okay. But I think anybody who's not afraid of that defensive line is probably not watching football.
Yeah, that defensive line is scary, man. I mean, when you talk about what's his name, obviously T.J. Watt, you got Hebing, Hebig. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but that guy gets after it. They have 4 guys with 52 pressures on quarterbacks this year: Watt, Herbig, Benton, and Highsmith. The Bears only have 1 in double digits. That's Montez Sweat at 10. Watt bringing 16. Herbig's bringing 16. Benton and Highsmith, respectively, have 10 each. And we heard Ben Johnson today said, man, those edge rushers, they're werewolves on the outside. They get after you. This is going to be a game much like last week. And I think that last week was a great training game to get ready for the pressure that Pittsburgh brings, because Flores blitzed at 70% of the time and just was coming after Caleb, and he was doing his Houdini acts in the backfield. Hopefully this week against Pittsburgh, the passes will be a little bit accurate. I'd like to see that completion percentage get from 50 to 60. I don't need 70, but make those plays, hit what the defense gives you, those deep balls. I still think the Bears are going to win this football game today or on Sunday. But handling TJ Watt and that pressure up front, man, he thrives on disruption and wrecking the game. So Chicago, for me, you're going to have to chip with the tight ends in the backs, and you're going to have to figure out one way. You got Darnell Wright, who should be able to be dominant on the right side. Theo Benedict's going to need help on the left side. And hopefully Ben Johnson, who we all know has come up with some fantastic game plans this year. He's going to have to prioritize, in my mind, a quick game, quick concept. Get the ball out. We've seen them do that at times this year, and use some design rollouts, and try and change, try and move the pocket in the launch point for Caleb in this game, because the one thing we know, they're going to bring the pressure. They're going to get after you. TJ Watt in the entire NFL is one of the best defenders. Like I just said, he loves to create disruption and chaos and get after you. And I guarantee you, he's got a board up at his house. He's staring at Caleb Williams this week like, I'm going to get that motherfucker. So,
Sean, you're right, because last week Minnesota, I believe Ben Flores blitzed, I want to say over like 70% of the snaps, defensive snaps, which is insane. That means he's literally he's blitzing all the time. It's a really good barometer, because we were saying in the pre-show, we pretty much are facing a premier edge rusher every week for the rest of the week. I mean, literally cream of the crop type of defensive lines here. So it's a really good barometer and measuring stick for this offensive line. And hey, I don't care if we run, 60% of the time and pass 40% of the time, as long as we win. It seems like Ben Johnson has a fairly smart, real grasp on who he's playing and what he needs to do. I know we're not executing the way he probably would wish we are, but I think he understands who he's facing. He loves the Steelers coaching staff. I mean, he praised them all up and down. And why wouldn't you? They just never had a losing record. So, I mean, to be in the league for 18 years or whatever, and never have a losing record, that's insane. That is insane.
Pretty
Their
impressive.
Steelers are they're pretty scrappy team too, and they always have been. They love the 1 point wins too. They don't really care as long as they get the W. So we just got to keep it close. And this might be like we said last week. Whoever gets the ball last probably going to win the game.
Right. Yeah, and I'm gonna bring this up. And as you see, Romy said, "Do you think Loveland and Burden get more touches?" You see, their touches are going up, man. If you look at last week, you had Zacchaeus at 13%, Burden up to 44%, Loveland 75% of the snaps. I think it's time. I do think that they're gonna both be more involved in this offense. I think Luther Burden, you can do so many different things with him, end arounds, little screen passes. There's so many different things. I know they tried one last week and it got blown up in the backfield in Minnesota. That could happen again with this defense. This defense is fast, it's twitchy, and those plays kind of get blown up. It could get blown up. I shouldn't say should. They could get blown up because they are fast, they are twitchy. And TJ Watt, we're going to be so sick of hearing that name, I have a feeling, by the end of Sunday.
Maybe because his brother's announcing the game. His brother's calling the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. His brother is calling the game. I forgot about that.
JJ's pretty fair, though. Look, I would love to see him involved in the running game a little bit more and DJ Moore a little less. I think DJ Moore maybe is just a little too valuable at this point in time to have him running out of the backfield, unless you just see a play call you absolutely love. But I'd like to see him get a little bit more involved too. I mean, he had a wide open ball. Rome had a wide open ball. And there was a couple of drops by Burden too. But I said it earlier in the show. I'm going to say it again. I think if you have, because the catch rate for both Loveland and Komet is ridiculous. Just keep feeding those guys the rock, man. Those are going to be your short intermediate passes, because I don't think either one of them is going to be sprinting down the field blowing DBs up. But get them the ball in the middle of the field and let some magic happen. Let these guys try to tackle these giant tight ends.
And really quick, Romy, I don't like 50-50 balls. I don't believe in them.
Unless you're in the end zone and you have a clear matchup mismatch. You know what I mean?
No, that was from today. Ben Johnson was asked about 50-50 balls.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like 50-50 balls. And then Caleb doubled down on it and goes, yeah, I don't believe in 50-50 balls either. We love you, Dante. He always brings the humor to the show. Gotta love that. John S. is in the house, man. Yeah, I'm with you, John. I can't remember the last time Rome went up and got that ball, a ball away from anybody. He's a conundrum for me. I think he's a really good football player. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't believe he's a true one in an offense. I think in comparison to say, hey, you have CeeDee Lamb and you have George Pickens. I don't know if Pickens could be a true one without Lamb. Maybe I could be wrong on that. I still think when it's all said and done, he's going to have a very, very good career here in Chicago. Roman Dunze, that's speaking of. But I think when it's all said and done and they mature, I still believe in my heart of hearts that Luther Burden is going to wind up being the best receiver on this football team. They do different things. I think there's just – when I think of Luther Burden, I kind of think of Antonio Brown. And I know that's high praise.
We need it,
But I really do believe – I really believe in my heart of hearts that Luther Burden has that ability to become – an Antonio Brown type player in the NFL. People forget, man, going into last year, this guy was a top 5 pick. They were saying he was top 5 pick in the draft. Whatever happened in Missouri, I mean, everything goes to hell in Missouri. We all should know that. And his season just went down. So and the Bears got a gift, and they're going to keep unwrapping this gift. And like I said, man, I love what this guy can bring to the football field in so many aspects. And when you start looking at something that I was worried about, and one of the knocks that they had on Colson Loveland was his blocking ability coming into the league. But when you start looking at these all-22s and you start looking at this run game on the all-22s, man, Colson Loveland is getting in there. He's winning these battles. He's holding these people up. Cole Kmet, I thought Cole Kmet had his best game under the Ben Johnson regime last week in Minnesota. It's starting to come together slowly, but I will go down and say, Jay, to your point, I think one of the thing that has given the Bears problems all years has been tight ends. And I don't know if anyone saw that tape of Darnell Washington last week, but that guy was just chucking dudes.
Dude, he looked like a grown man playing in Pop Warner, just literally crushing guys.
Yeah, and Brett Freiermuth can get it done. And guys, I don't want anyone to think like, hey, if Mason Rudolph's in there, Mason Rudolph can't get it done. He came in relief in that game. He was 12 of 16 for 127 and a touchdown. In 18 career starts, he has a 118.5 passer rating. I mean, this guy has the ability to get it done, and I'm not calling him a Hall of Fame quarterback or anything, but we already did lose to a backup this year, and I'm sure that's going to be on the bulletin board. I don't think the Bears will lose to Mason Rudolph, but I don't think that it's just a cakewalk. In my mind, I don't know how the chat feels or you feel, Jay. If Mason Rudolph is in there, I still think that he's capable of keeping the Bears on their toes.
He's a very capable quarterback. I just want to play Rodgers because I want to beat Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of hearing him yap his mouth. I'm tired. You know, you're 78 years old. You're not as good as you have been. You haven't really been that great for the last like 5 years. So just calm it down for a little bit. And honestly, you paired yourself up with one of the greatest coaches of all time. You know, it's not like you are pulling this team by by their britches through the AFC. You're not doing that great. I know you guys have a winning record right now, but they always have a winning record. If you weren't there, they would still have a winning record. So quit acting like you're the guy winning them games. That defense is really what's winning them games, if I'm being 100% honest.
And I'm with you guys. I'm going to get sorry, we're a little behind because we're a man down. Kyle actually lost his voice, so it's kind of hard to podcast when you can't talk. So hopefully he'll be back. He'll be back this coming Monday. If he doesn't sneak on the show this Sunday to get his thoughts in on the Bears and the Steelers. But I'll get some of this chat. I agree with you, Romy. He is Houdini back there, and I'm sure he's going to continue to do that. And that's a really good point, J2K. Ozzie did play 20 snaps, 6 linemen or right around there. And
you're going to see some jumbo.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to if you're going to be protecting Caleb, I think, from this defense this week. I agree, Cliff. Good things happen when Caleb passes to Loveland. They certainly have been over the past couple of weeks now that he's been more involved in the offense. Cliff says Bears could have one of the backups go up to Watt and spit in his Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Let's get this guy out of this ball game. I'm with you, Ron. I want Rodgers to play too, especially for those who didn't hear his comments when he was interviewed today. Not verbatim, but pretty close. He said, yeah, I got a lot of fond memories of Chicago. On Mondays and Sundays and Thursdays, and when I came the quarterback of that team up north, they were behind the Bears, and when I was there, now the Packers are ahead of the Bears. Dude, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. I hope the Bears end the season.
You know what? We need to bring back what's his nuts? Who ended Favre's career? Who's that? Corey Wooten?
Corey Wooten, yeah. No block, no block. And Romy, I'm glad you said that, because one of the things that you noticed, and I heard, and one of the things I didn't notice, but I heard through multiple analysts as they were breaking down the game, and then I went back and watched the All 22 because I wanted to double check their work, as anyone always should. But if you watch the All 22s and you watch that Giants game, it did look like Zacchaeus was giving up on blocks. He wasn't blocking like he was supposed to. And true to his word, as Romy puts, no block, no rock, 13% snap share. You don't block, you don't play. And this coaching staff is not effing around. They just basically said, hey, Zacchaeus, no block, sit your ass on the bench. And that's what happens, man. So
he's going to find himself on special teams. It's going to happen.
Yeah, no kidding. Cliff, I'm hoping we end Rodgers this Sunday. I'm with you, Romy. Caleb.
Oh, good to see you join in, buddy.
Yeah, and you want to know what's you want to know what's funny is he actually said, "What's going on, Paul? Thanks for jumping in, buddy." They actually asked Caleb about that today in his presser, and he pretty much said, "Yeah, it's nice." And he said he would be looking forward to the end of the game, going to talk to him. But pretty much before he's on that side, I'm on this side. We all know he grew up idolizing Aaron Rodgers. So for Caleb Williams, this could be a day where he wants to impress his idol. Yeah, you know what I mean? You just never know.
Well, he might want to get the ball out a little bit faster because right now Aaron Rodgers, I think, is leading the league and getting the ball out quickly. But that is to be, understood for a really quick, veteran quarterback who just really understands the game.
Yeah.
What's his nuts from Cincinnati? He's really low on it right now too. Joe Flacco. Those are just guys that have been around the league for so long. You're not really going to teach them much about football anymore. So they know the coverage when they're walking up to the line. So that's, to me, that's probably more indicative of that. I would say this. I don't really care who's starting, Sean, if it's Rodgers or whatever. I want Rodgers just because I want to beat him. I think, it might be better if Rodgers does play because then maybe we can silence some of these people saying that we're just playing shitty teams. I'll be honest with you now. If the Bears win out the rest of the season or half of this season and they're getting 1-point wins, I don't think you can say that they played a shitty schedule because right now I think they might have the toughest schedule remaining in football.
Oh, yeah.
It is really bad.
Well, as Paul puts out here, man, the gauntlet begins this Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And, as I get into some of these keys of the game, I want to see the Bears do what Ben Johnson wants to do, and that's run the rock, man. Get Chicago. Chicago's been the best when the offense is running the football, and it's been humming as of late. I'd like to see some inside zone, kind of test the Pittsburgh's interior, kind of see where they're at. Occasional misdirection plays, try and keep that pass rush, slow down that pass rush. Yep. And just if you do get this steady ground attack, it kind of keeps Watt and Highsmith pinning their ears back and gets them a little bit tired as well. So these are some of the things, and I'm sure, hey, man, he's a professional head coach. They're putting together a professional game plan here. I'm pretty sure these are some of the things that they're going to be looking at, but these are some of the things, in my personal opinion, that I'm going to be looking for. And in my personal opinion, I think are the way to beat Pittsburgh. Run, pound them on the run, hit them with the play action. The Bears have had so much success with it. Get Watt tired. That's all I can say. I know he has a high motor, but you've seen in Pittsburgh's games, his defense towards the end of games has been worn down.
Yeah, let's get some long drives going for sure.
Yeah, let's get them. And then on the other side of the ball for me and Jason, I'm going to get your thoughts. But on the other side of the ball is going to be, I kind of alluded to this earlier, is just containing that physical run game of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jaylon Warren, I think someone put in the chat, I've had this guy on my fantasy football team, I think 3 years in a row now. Someone talked about his ability after the catch. He is dangerous. And I know a lot of people think Jaylon Warren's mid, but I think Jaylon Warren's a little bit better than mid, man. He can run, he can block, he can catch the ball. And when the ball just this week, it was I think the second or third play that Pittsburgh had against Cincinnati. This dude took a 40-yard run and was running into defenders and knocking them on their ass and then juking whoever and then knocks the other guy. I'm sitting there like, holy shit, that was incredible. I mean, it was an incredible run by Jay. It was like a 40-yard run. And he's just chucking dudes. I'm just like, God damn, we got to deal with this guy next week.
And then you bring in Kenneth Gainwell, who's actually running very well. He's a downhill runner, but he's, good catching the ball out of the backfield as well. And then, hell, you throw in, Caleb Johnson. I know he's not great, but we were very high on him in all of our, pre-draft shows. He's still got talent. I think he still has something to learn, and the other two running backs are doing so well, so there's really no need to throw the kid in there. And maybe he's not blocking yet, or maybe he's not understanding some of the pro schemes that they want to run. But, I mean, they do have a very potent run game. And their passing game's not great, but still pretty darn good. I mean, they just picked up, that big-ass receiver. So, we got to watch out for him, too. There will be some mismatches there. But, hey, last week we held that receiving core to not much. I know it's basically a rookie quarterback, and this is Aaron Rodgers or even Mason Rudolph. So it's hard to compare those two, but it's really hard to contain wide receivers like that, and I think they did a pretty good job. So you might be right, Sean. The key to this game, it could be all run, run, run. I don't know. I didn't check what the weather's going to be like. Oh, I think it's sunny and like 50 on Sunday. So it might be a perfect game. So, who knows? No excuses. Just don't let Caleb get sacked. Run the ball. And do what you can to stop Aaron Rodgers. And if you can, break both of his legs. That'd be nice.
Yeah, and, another key for both defenses is going to be limiting those explosive plays. The Steelers like to try a lot of shot plays, play action. And, Aaron Rodgers likes to throw that deep ball, and he throws it with precision. So Chicago's going to have to stay disciplined, have some disciplined safety play, and then, some tight communication in the secondary. Just don't give up free yards. Nahshon Wright's been doing a really good job. He had that fantastic pick in the end zone.
Beautiful interception.
And I just think for myself, if there's any way that TJ Edwards can get into this game, and I'm hoping, and this one I'm not going to draw too much. We've seen these long injury reports for the Bears the last bunch of weeks on Wednesday, and this one is long and distinguished this week as well. And Cliff, I'm going to get back to your question here in just a minute. But it's long. I expect some of these guys to not be on here as the week progresses. And that's kind of why we're doing the Sunday thing now. So we can get a little clearer picture of what's happening with these Chicago Bears. And, as long as we're at it, let's just have a little fun, because let's take a sneak peek at the NFC North standings. Oh, who's that on first place? Who's that on first place? Oh, is that the Bears in first place? Oh, that is the Bears in first place. All right. I just had to check my daily notes.
Hey, you know what? And you mentioned this earlier, Sean. The home record for the Bears this year is actually pretty darn good. I actually like, and then Rodgers, obviously, or I should say the Steelers, not Rodgers, but the Steelers against the Bears at Soldier is not very good. So, if you're a betting man, you're probably going to see what is the line right now, 3 or 4?
It's Bears are -3 at the moment.
So they're basically getting home field advantage, which is probably fairly, it's probably also because that's where the way the money is going. It's probably getting equal shares on both sides. But I'll be honest with you, this is going to be a rock fight, a dog fight. It's going to be probably very similar. Might even be lower scoring than last week.
I'm with you, Jay. I think this could be
maybe 13-10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pick up Cariel Santos or Boswell if they're available in your leagues, because this might be a very powerful kicker day.
12 to 15.
Hey, you know what? I picked up Jason Myers, I think, the Seattle kicker last week. Dude, the guy got me 17 points. He kicked 4 50-yarders. I was like, giddy up, dude. Let's go. I don't play. I play in 3 leagues. I only play in 1 with kickers, and I both of my kickers that I have, and I've never had 2 kickers on my team. But Jason Myers has a 14-point average, and so does Fairbairn. So I'm like, how am I going to drop either one of these dudes? I got to
get. You know what? And in Mills League, I've got Tampa Bay's kicker, and he's been tearing it up. He's had a couple 20-point weeks, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, and I love this. Cliff says, "Are we calling TJ the club now?" That will be amazing. And I want to get back to your question here, Cliff. If I can find it, he was asking which one. I can't find it, but he was asking which one do we think next year in the draft would be more important for us to go get, defensive tackle or edge? And he was saying defensive tackle because we lack that pressure up the middle of the defense. I'm just going to throw everyone for a loop here. For me, I'm fine with either position, but if we fall into a position where we can get Jeremiah Love, and I know it's an exotic luxury toy, I want Jeremiah Love more than I want anything else in this draft. I think it's a very deep left tackle draft if you look into it. I'm not sure how deep it is in edge rusher. And I believe it's somewhat deep in D tackles. I haven't really got too much into the draft stuff. I started looking at wide receivers. I know it's not a Bears need, but I just trying to break down some offensive positions first. But I really, if you want Gibbs, give me Love, because Love is amazing. I don't know if you guys have watched this tape. I would highly recommend it, because that dude is exciting as hell. and I know that there's so much that goes into the needs that the Bears have. But I kind of look at, when I look at Detroit, when I look at Philadelphia, when I look at, give me another, the Bills, these really good teams, they have players that can change the game like that. Gibbs can get loose at any time. Cook can get loose at any time. Guys, that's Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love's going to have a fantastic NFL career, and I hope it's on the lakefront in Chicago.
Let me ask both the chat and you this, Sean. Do you think this is one of the better rookie classes the Bears have had in years recently?
I think it's starting to shape up that way. Because when you start to really look at it, before Shamar Turner got hurt, we were seeing him flash on the television. It wasn't showing up in the stats, but you saw him.
He's getting pressure.
Yeah, you saw him creating chaos, and you just figure it was going to come if he would be able to play a little bit longer. You're starting to see the evolution of Colston Loveland. And I think over these last bunch of weeks, you're going to see the evolution of Luther Burden. And you've seen
how the middle guys coming along
can do. So, yeah, I was down on this draft class to begin with. Patience is a virtue. It's something I don't really have. And in these aspects, you have to be patient. And I don't know why I exercised it with the Blackhawks. I exercised it with Pete Crow Armstrong. I don't know why I can't exercise it with the gosh darn Bears.
Well, we said it before, too. I don't know if the Bears were really developing some of their younger talent. You know what I mean? Just look at the difference a year makes for, the Canadian Eagle, right?
Yeah.
Could barely even make the practice squad. I know he was injured, but he didn't have any promise at all. And now all of a sudden the guys are your starting left tackle. We could obviously still do a little bit better there, but you're right. I think this might be one of the better classes. And, you probably need 2 or 3 years to really evaluate a draft class. But, hey, maybe it's a combination of Ben Johnson, helping guide Poles into what he really needs. And at least if you can't get the player you want, at least get the correct type of traits and player that once you do draft them, even if they're in the third instead of the first, these guys are going to have impacts. I personally would like to see more depth at DB. I don't care if it's an elite edge rusher, it's never the wrong answer. If it's an elite, defensive tackle, it's never the wrong answer. But a really good running back is great. What I would really, really love to see, and I know we were just talking up TJ Edwards. We love the guy. I would like to see another Hall of Fame middle linebacker draft.
Oh, my God.
But, hey, you can only have like 5 or 6 in your team's history. It's hard to have more than that.
Yeah, and Cliff, I'm with you, buddy. I am 100%. I don't disagree. I do think that an edge rusher or a lineman, if they are, and again, I think I'd be more suited to answer this question in about 3 months. But I think I just don't know how deep or what's going to be there where the Bears are going to be drafting. You know what I mean? Like, and Romy, I'm with you too. I think Jeremiah Love is probably going to go in the top 15. I don't think the Bears will have a chance with them. I know when.
And not if we keep winning games. We're going to be picking.
When the season started, he was projected to go like 22, and he was projected to go to the Bears in the early drafts. After the last draft was over, they were saying, "Oh, next year," And I mean, I love watching him at Notre Dame every week. I mean, I watch Notre Dame every week. I watch Ohio State, Kansas, and Notre Dame every single week of my life. I love that kid so much. And I wish there was a way that the Bears could get him, because I don't think Dustin and I and Brandon were talking about this the other day. I don't think outside of Jeremiah Love, I don't really like this running back class this year coming into the league. Nothing really excites me. The wide receiver class, the top 5 really do. But I don't know. Outside of Love, I think we're waiting another year, and you're going to have to deal with Swift, and we're going to have Swift and Monungai, and that's obviously proving to not be a bad thing.
So, I think I found one problem with Jeremiah Love. Born in Missouri.
Hey, I'll tell you this. If that's a loser mentality, the Bears should have done it this year, because it was their ultimate weaknesses there, James. So you're obviously then calling our front staff losers, because left tackle, D tackle, and edge rusher going into the draft were 3 of the Bears' biggest needs, and they went offense, offense, offense. So besides Shamar Turner, so I guess the front office is losers. Then they have loser mentality.
No, they drafted Ruben Hippolyte.
Oh yay! I'm sorry if you didn't think that those were the needs of the Bears going into this current draft, coming into this season. I don't know what to tell you, but those were some of the biggest needs. And again, James, watch the winning teams in this league. Yes, they're solidified and they have deep rosters, but they have game changers on their teams.
Remember how everybody knocked Detroit when they drafted Jameer Gibbs? Like, Jameer Gibbs that early? What are you talking about? Dude, every 31 other teams in the league would kill to have Jahmyr Gibbs on their team. Even the guys with Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, because Jahmyr Gibbs is like 5 years younger and just as good as both of those dudes.
Yeah, and I'll say this: a couple of the guys are asking us to give our score predictions, Jay, for this. For me, I'm going to expect, like Jay and I had just been alluding to, I think a tight, physical, low possession game, and that's exactly the kind of game that Chicago keeps winning, that the Bears are winning. Protect the football, manage the clock, control Pittsburgh's pass rush. And the Bears are at home, where Pittsburgh is 1-12 all time. I'm taking the Bears in this one. I'm going to say I'm going to take Jay's score from last week, 2017.
Yeah, I was going to say last week I was 2017. That wound up being 19-17. I don't know if I could be any closer than that. I'm going to go a little bit lower because I do feel that these teams match up very well systematically. If you really look at it, listen, Bears play a lot of under center. Caleb Williams sees a lot of base defense, and that's basically what Pittsburgh does very, very well. You're going to see their 3-4 front like constantly. What I think is going to happen is it is going to be a rock fight. I don't know if it's going to be all field goals. You might see a couple of kicks in there. I'm going to go 14-10 Bears. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
14-10 Bears. I can see that. I can see that. And again, when you start looking at this is the same thing I said last week, and I'm going to say the same thing again this week. I'm going to keep the Bears scoring low. And I asked on Monday, the Bears up 2 weeks ago were averaging 24 points a game. Coming into this week, they've been under that mark 2 weeks in a row. Do we see that mark growing up or moving back up close to that 24 points? And if the defense doesn't score, my answer is no, because the red zone efficiency hasn't improved. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I would like to see Ben Johnson, myself, start to get Colston Loveland and Colt Kmet more involved in the red zone.
We've been saying that for weeks, dude. They're the biggest guys on your offense. They're the pass catchers. Give them the ball in the red zone. And again, Ben's learning and growing, and I'm not questioning anything he's doing because he has the Bears winning, and I love what he's doing, but I could still criticize some things that I don't like, that I don't see. Obviously, I'm not nearly as qualified as Ben Johnson, but, when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it, some things really bothered me. The first half of the game last week bothered me. The Bears ran 33 plays for 128 yards. They averaged 3 yards a carry on the ground. The rhythm wasn't there in the offense. It's the word we use on here a lot. Very clunky, and then towards the end of the game, before they ran, when they turned the ball back over and Minnesota scored, in big letters, I was texting in our group chat, run the fucking ball. Why are you trying to pass with a 2-score lead? Run the clock out, for the love of Christ. Then they did it, and it worked. So, but, Ben Johnson's going to learn. And, like you said earlier, Jay, when they left that stadium, or when they were walking off that stadium, Ben Johnson nor Caleb Williams had a happy look on their face. I think they both knew they left a lot on that football field. I said it on Monday, and I'll say it again. They should have absolutely lynched Minnesota. They should have put 30 points on the board very easily against that team. So until the red zone offense improves and gets up above that 55% mark, I'm going to keep these low-scoring games, man. Hey, real quick, to answer James' question here, I just looked it up. First of all, there are teams that have first-round quarterbacks on their roster that won a Super Bowl, but they didn't draft that guy per se. But there are 5 teams.
Saquon Barkley?
What's that?
Saquon Barkley last year?
Right. Yeah. So, but the New England Patriots won with Sony Michel and with Leonard Fournette. Pittsburgh Steelers won with Franco Harris. I know it's a long time ago. Kansas City Chiefs won with Marcus Allen. Green Bay Packers won with Amon Green. New Orleans Saints won with Deuce McAllister. So, yes, it is possible.
James, I don't know why.
That's a great question, though. I did not. Jay, I didn't really think. I thought you were there, James, and I didn't think there really was one. But yeah, they are there.
I have a question, James. Why do you think the Bears need to score 24 points to win this game? It's not like the Pittsburgh Steelers have a juggernaut offense at all. The thing that scares me the most in this game is how the Bears defend the tight ends, because Darnell Washington, I mean, we saw him last week. The guy's an absolute monster. And Pat Freiermuth, he's consistent as hell. I mean, he's not, Travis Kelce, but Duke can catch the ball and Duke can make plays, and he's been doing it in this league for a very long time. So, I mean, Pittsburgh, I'm just looking here. Pittsburgh's averaging about 24 points a game. I just don't think that they're going to come into Soldier Field and they're going to put those kind of points up. And I'll be honest with you, if Aaron Rodgers is out there, it isn't out there, I think they're going to really struggle to score. I think they might be able to move the ball, get a couple field goals. Maybe they'll be able to break off a run or something, on the Bears defense. But I don't think they're coming in and they're going to put 24 points up and make the Bears put 25 up to win. And hey, I could be wrong. I can tell you this. If you go look at my predictions, I've been within 3 points of every single game this year. So I'm gonna try and keep my streak alive, and I'm gonna predict a low scoring game. So
hey, I hope we're both wrong, Sean, and the Bears score 50 points. Like I would love to see it, but I think this defense is gonna give that offensive line fits. It's gonna cause some havoc here. You're probably gonna see Caleb scrambling, so we really need to get Caleb a little bit more accurate on those rollouts to the left and to the right. And when he has, because it seems like wide receivers now are starting to catch up on that scramble drill and they're getting open. They're coming back to the ball. We just need Caleb to maybe listen, dude, you don't need to throw a 120-mile-an-hour fastball. Just get it to the receiver so he can catch it. So we'll see. I mean, look, Caleb is probably going to want to score, like you said. His mentor, his hero is going to be on the other side of the ball, whether he plays or not. Me personally, I probably wouldn't play. Because if you're vying for the playoffs, you probably want Aaron Rodgers to man your team in the playoffs. I don't know if that I would start him per se, but who knows? He may be fine. He could play. I want him to play. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game simply because, like I said, it's just these teams are matching up too well, both on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. That, man, I don't know how well it's going to work. Remember, Rodgers has always been interception prone his whole career. He's always thrown interceptions. And that's what's weird. Like Caleb loves Aaron Rodgers so much because he barely ever throws an interception. And this is a team that loves to take away the ball. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. I mean, they still seem to get 2 interceptions every game, even though we keep thinking it's not sustainable. So, this could be a very well matched up game. The defenses may carry this game, and it may be a matchup where we're not seeing points scored, but we're seeing some really good defensive play. So, I don't know. We just need to score in the red zone, like Sean said, and I think we'll be okay. And hopefully we get the ball last with a minute left, and we'll be really good.
Yeah, and hopefully if they do have the lead late, they run the ball and sulk this game away, because that was just, man, that pissed me off last week. And it's growing pains. And again, Ben has said it himself. Hey, I'm learning on the job. He's learning how to be a head coach. He's going to be a really, really good head coach for the Chicago Bears for a very long time. So I don't know. The Cliff says the over-under is 45.5. I'm definitely betting the under. And I agree with you again, Cliff. Ben is good at time management and using his timeouts properly. I thought in most games he was. I did not like the end of last week's game. The last 8 minutes of that game just confused the hell out of me about what the Bears were doing, trying to pass instead of running the ball, get the ball in the Swift's hands, get him out into space. Every time you did it, he was effective last week. And passing that ball with the 2, I mean, you risk throwing an interception, a pick 6, anything could happen, a fumble. The receiver catches it, fumbles, they scoop it up, they run it. I mean, just run the damn ball. I mean, I guess the running back can fumble it too. They can pick it up and score, but I think the chances go down opposed to passing it across the field. So what's going on, Lauren? Thanks for checking in, brother. And Aaron Rodgers, I agree. In his day, Aaron Rodgers did not throw interceptions, but
I will tell you this, I just looked it up. He had 3 times, 2009, 2010, and 2011, which was his heyday, his golden days. he had double-digit interceptions all 3 of those years. So
he's had some good ones.
Interceptions.
Yeah, and hopefully he does. I mean, he's got a broken left hand or wrist or whatever it is. I personally think it's going to be foolish if he plays in this game, but it is what it is.
I want him to play. If I'm looking at it from, like, say if it was Caleb and it was his left hand, we've already had some, center to quarterback exchange issues. That's the worst place and time to fumble the ball is right where the ball is being snapped, because you have defenders as close as possible to the ball. So, it's a scary thing. You may think it's not a big deal because it's not his throwing hand, but, handoffs, can he now only hand off to the right with his right hand? Or, I'm sorry, to the left with his right hand, and he can't hand off to the left. It could limit your offense. So who knows? I mean, maybe it works. I mean, he's a tough dude. I mean, Aaron Rodgers really hasn't been hurt a whole lot in his career. I know these last couple of years he has, but that's one thing you can't say about the dude. He does play as many games as humanly possible. So, and he had some really bad offensive lines too. In Green Bay, he got sacked a lot. So he's definitely a tough guy. I mean, it looked like he wanted to keep playing in that game, but I just don't think it was possible. So I want to play him because I want him to lose to the Bears, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit if he didn't play.
Hey, James, I disagree with you. I think the Chicago Bears can run on anybody, and I do believe they're going to run on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just went over it. Chase Brown just gashed him for 5.5 yards a carry. The week before that, Kamani Vidal averaged 4 yards a carry. The week before that, they shut down Jonathan Taylor. But teams have been running on the Steelers, and I believe the Chicago Bears will run the ball on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So
I do too. Mike Tomlin's going to blitz again. I know that it didn't necessarily work for Minnesota last week, but I think Tomlin might be a little bit smarter and a little bit wiser because, again, he's going to be running off of his base defense and they do it a lot, and that's what Caleb sees a lot. And you're going to see some really disguised blitzes, maybe a really well-timed corner safety blitz. Tomlin's a very, very good defensive coach. People forget about that. They just give him the credit for being a head coach. But, I think the only way you can really beat that, Sean, is you run the ball. And we're running the ball well. We really are. Third best team in the NFL in running the ball.
Yeah. Since the bye, the Bears are, I think since the bye, the Bears are number one in the league. If I'm not mistaken. I mean,
well, some of that is Caleb, some of those scrambles and things, which helps. But still, that's part of the running game, right? If Caleb sees the play break down and he runs for 15 yards, guess what? That's a first down, dude. It's on the ground. It's a rushing game. So it may not be all running backs, but you'll definitely see the running game very big in here. And I forget who said it earlier, was talking about jumbo. Maybe it was Cliff or whatever. But, yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of that jumbo formation. Might even see another 20 snaps. I wouldn't be surprised because you're going to need to block that defensive front from Pittsburgh. They're brutal, man.
Yeah, and the Cliff's point here, tight ends are so important about an NFL game. Bears have 2 good ones. I would love to see him pound, play action to a tight end, hit Colston Loveland over the middle for a touchdown. The one thing that I will take away is when we start going from week 1 to week now, I think a nickname we can use for Ben Johnson is a problem solver, because you start looking at the problems that we've had throughout the year. Look at just take the penalties. The penalties have continued to go down every single week for the Chicago Bears. And I believe
one game was abysmal. Look at it now.
Yeah, it's like
now if you could just fix the passing game.
This guy, I just believe in him, and I believe in this staff so much.
Yeah,
I just worry that we're going to lose a couple of them. Maybe Bieniemy, maybe Antoine Randall, maybe Al Harris. Al Harris is going to be defensive coordinator for somebody somewhere.
That dude is doing a phenomenal job with the worst possible scenario. 3 of your starters have been out for many, many weeks, and you're just still crushing it.
Yeah, Al Harris. I when he got signed here, I was pretty ecstatic that he was signed here. Did a great job in Dallas with Trayvon Diggs, and I can't remember the other guy's name there. He did a fantastic job with right now, but that was a great hire. I mean, this whole coaching staff's been a great hire. As our boy Relentless Mikey alluded to, we win this week. The Rams lose. We go to Philadelphia to play for the number 1 seed. Playing the defending Super Bowl champion for the number 1 seed. If you told me this in week 1, I would have laughed in your face. But Ben Johnson and this coaching staff has got the Bears here. So let's enjoy it together. as we sit here and we look ahead. The Chicago Bears are sitting in first place, man, 7-3, looking to win our 8th ball game in 9 tries. Wish we would have stole that one, but in the words of our coach, our
Last
GM,
thing, the most important piece is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
that's starting to come to fruition, boys. And then we can get this clown out of here. This guy, Caleb sucks. Caleb sucks. He's never going to be a good quarterback. Yeah. Go. I got a couple words for you guys. So
let's do some pick six.
Yeah, let's get into this pick six. Guys, you wanna hop in?
Throw your Bears predictions in there.
Pick six.
Throw your Bears predictions in there. And I'm super excited. And don't forget tomorrow, I'll say it again at the end of the pick six. Dustin and Brandon will be back burning that midnight oil. If you can't stay up late night, hit them up in the car on your way to work with that cup of coffee. They're a great listen. They're going to break down the game from their side. And then, of course, join us at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. That quick little 20, 30 minutes that we do to get you geared up, give you all the X's and O's and everything you need to know right before kickoff. So let's get into this, man. Jay, help me out with this chat here.
Yep.
Bruce,
I'm guessing you picked the Bears, right?
Bears, Bears win.
If anyone wants to jump in the pick six,
we're doing it now, Mikey.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Yes,
Mikey.
yes.
And next week, guys, I had a crazy busy day yesterday and today. Next week, I'm going to get the standings as we'll only have 6 pick sixes left after next week. Say that fast 10 times.
Yeah.
Put hey, everybody in the chat. Put
Cliff?
your Bears predictions in there.
Yes.
So let's take it. Let's keep it in the in the NFC North. Excuse me. Oh, Jesus. The Minnesota Vikings travel to the Great White North and take on that team from up north in an NFC North battle. That team from up north comes in 7-point favorites. I think I'm going to roll here with
Vikings.
Ooh, Bruce is going to take the Vikes. All right.
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback for the Vikings? Is JJ going to start?
Yeah.
They haven't announced anything different.
Possibly.
Romy's got 16-13 Bears.
Man, I can't pick Green Bay. I think I'm going to go with Bruce. Listen, Green Bay's probably going to win because it's in Green Bay, but you never know. Minnesota's a scrappy team. They almost beat the Bears here, and I'll tell you what, Green Bay plays down to their competition. They don't really do well against bad teams for some reason. So I'm taking Minnesota with a squeaker.
We got the Vikings. Mikey's got. I'm the only one taking. Vikings did beat the Lions. Yes, they did.
Remy's got the Bears.
I'm going to take Green Bay. I'm going to do it. Romy, are you taking the Vikings?
Shannon took the Steelers.
Oh, all right, Shannon, I got you down, bro.
Mikey's got the Vikings.
Shannon's feeling that the luck of the draw of the Bears might run out one of these weeks. The magic's going to end. So what do we got here? What you taking? What you got, Cliff? You taking the Packers or the Vikings? And I think Romy, if I'm not, Lauren's going with the Green Bay Packers.
Boo!
Romy, I'm assuming you're taking the Vikings, Rome. Is that what I'm hearing? You know what? I can't switch my pick. JJ McCarthy's just ass, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan Love is ass too. Don't get me wrong, but
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
But like I said, Green Bay seems to play down to their competition. They're not like if they're as good as everybody thinks they are, they should be crushing some of these teams, and they're just not.
Yeah.
And we got Cliff is taking the Vikings. Cliff has got the Bears and the Vikings. We're gonna switch this over to an AFC clash down in Kansas City. The upstart Indianapolis Colts travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs come into that game 3.5-point favorites. What do we got, boys? I am going to stick with Kansas City because this is a must-win situation for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'll go Chiefs.
Bruce has got the Chiefs.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't think Mahomes has lost 3 games in a row in his career.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one, Mikey. I'll be definitely. Romy's going KC as well. When it comes to it,
I'm going Indianapolis.
I don't trust Daniel Jones, but I have to trust Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid to get this game. They have to. Or they're out of the playoffs. I mean, right now they're on the bubble. So, Jay, you're going to go Colts?
I'm going Colts.
I'll take Cliff is taking KC.
Mikey's got KC.
Mikey's got
Romy's
KC.
got KC.
Romy's got KC.
Yep.
KC by 3, 24-21 from Mikey. I'm going to write that down, Mikey. I'm going to hold you to it. Cliff is taking the Colts. All right. He's taking the Colts. Hey, believe me, if we can have the Taylor Swift era and the Kansas City Chiefs, there'll be no one more happier than me. I just can't bet against them. I'm actually shocked they're in this position to begin with. But
it's crazy, right? I mean, if you look at them on paper, they're still the Chiefs. They should be much better than they are.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Their defense is not playing up to snuff either. Because last year, if you remember, their offense was not that great. And this year, it's still not that great. It's just the defense is much worse.
Lauren has the Colts.
Yep.
Mikey, I think I got everybody except for Shannon. Shannon wants to throw it in here. We'll move on, Shannon. If you're still hanging in there, brother, throw it in, my friend. We're going to go to another one, an NFC East battle.
Ooh.
Another fantastic matchup on paper between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
The Cowboys, the Eagles won this game 24-20 in Dallas to open the season. They come into this ball game as a 3.5 favorite.
Cliff's saying he's taking KC, not the Colts. He just used Colts as a correction for his spelling.
All right, I got you back to KC.
You're good, Cliff. We got you, buddy.
So we got the Eagles in Dallas. 24-20, week 1, Philadelphia beat Dallas in Philadelphia. So this is in Dallas. Dallas is 3.5-point favorites. Will the Eagles be looking ahead to that battle with the Bears next week on Black Friday?
I'll go to Phillies.
Man, this might be one of the better games. It might be
I know.
that game.
Yeah.
Listen, they got a really potent offense over there, but it seems like they're up and down. I just don't know. Quinn Williams looked like he had a really good week last week. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm still going Eagles. I'm going to go Eagles.
I go Eagles.
All right, Philly for you boys. Philly for Jay. We have
Mikey's got
Dallas is getting shellacked. All right,
so he's got Philly.
Mikey get Dallas.
Romy's going Eagles.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Eagles too. They're not.
I think Fangio has Dallas's number.
Yeah,
I just don't think they.
Yeah,
it's just one of those matchups.
Yeah.
I got Cliff. Do we have Cliff yet?
Cliff's got Eagles.
Cliff, Eagles. Yeah. All right, the Eagles are a clean sweep across the board. I guess that here's another fantastic matchup that is going to be Sunday night football as the 6-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers head to Hollywood to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams come into this game as a 7-point favorite. I would definitely take the Bucs plus the 7.
Yeah. I'll go Rams.
Bruce is going to go Rams. All right.
I think the Rams might be the best team in football right now, and I think it's going to be really hard to beat them. They're firing on all cylinders. They got an aged quarterback who looks like he's 27, not 37. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Romy says Rams blowout.
Yeah, I love Tampa, but Rams.
Jay, you said Rams?
Yeah, Shannon has Dallas beating the Eagles, by the way.
All right. Hey Shannon, I'm missing the Kansas City Indy game for you. And that's it. Oh, and the
Mikey's got Bucks.
Mikey's got the Bucks.
Oh.
Cliff's taking the Rams.
Let's go on Rams. I'm gonna go Rams too. Although I want the Bucks to win, because when the Bears win, then we have the battle for the 1 seed next week. But I can't do it. I can't do it. I do think the game's gonna stay close though.
I'm gonna be watching both of those games very closely. That Lions game and that Eagles game.
Shannon, KC, okay. KC.
Sorry, the Rams game. Sorry.
And then who do you got? Packers or Vikings, Shannon? And Lawrence says Eagles and Rams. 5. Okay. I think we got everybody across the board. Let's see. Who's Monday Night Football this week?
Shannon says Packers.
Packed for Shannon.
Panthers, Niners, Monday night.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
that game sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for another tight spread in here.
Yeah.
We're going to throw a monkey wrench in this thing.
New Orleans Saints versus Atlanta Falcons. No.
Okay, you read my mind. I was actually going to say that game. The battle of two shit quarterbacks. Or we can do Jacksonville and Arizona. Arizona's a 3-point favorite. Jacksonville is visiting the desert.
Coming off a hot win, Jacksonville is, huh?
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, I don't know if we're doing Falcons, Shannon. We were just bullshitting. It's such a garbage game. I don't know if anybody wants to. Mikey says Saints 10-7.
It's gonna be. You know what? Let's just do that game. Fuck it.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll just do that game then. All right, Shannon, we are doing it. Shannon's got the Falcons.
Shannon's got the Falcons.
Mikey's got the Saints. I'm gonna take the Saints too.
Falcons.
Can I go 0-0? Can I go tie? I'm gonna take Atlanta. Because I'm gonna put my faith in one Bijan Robinson. Bijan, as he likes to be called. Atlanta Raiders. Atlanta, Georgia. I think that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Rami Saints.
Bruce, who'd you have?
Falcons.
ATL. Romy had the Saints.
Yep.
Romy's got the Saints. I think that's everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cliff is taking Atlanta.
Missing Shannon's Shannon. What am I missing from Shannon here? Viking. Oh no, I got the Packer. Which game am I missing? He's got Pittsburgh. Pack. KC. Oh, I don't. Rams Bucks. I don't have from Shannon.
Rams Bucks, Shannon. It looks like Lauren is saying a tie.
I'm with them. A tie. I'm going to put that down for you, Lauren. Tie.
You got Cliff with Lauren. The Falcons?
What's that?
You got Cliff with the Falcons?
Clippy. I have Clippy for ATL. Shannon is going with the Rams.
Right, yeah.
And I'm gonna text these games to Kyle, seeing that he can't talk. Maybe he can type.
You can do this.
He can type in his pick 6.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's gonna do it, man. This has been fun. This has been exciting.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, Shannon. From Shannon to Lauren to Cliff. The chat was fire as usual.
James T was in there.
Cliff.
Lauren.
All you guys. We missed Erica this week. Hopefully she'll be back. Romy was fire. Dante was here earlier.
Kyle feel better.
Yeah, we hope Kyle feels better. coming up here. Don't forget tomorrow, as I alluded to just a few minutes ago, we have Dustin and Brandon burning that midnight oil tomorrow, 11:30 on the bare minimum.
But what if you can't watch it that late?
If you can't watch it that late, what I would do is throw it on your Bluetooth in your car, grab your coffee, and listen to it on your way to work. And if you can't finish it on your way home from work.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
Only way.
That's what I'm doing. Yep.
And then don't forget again, we'll be back Sunday morning, 10 a.m. to go over the Chicago Bears and Pittsburgh Steelers. Final thoughts on the lakefront in Chicago. It's
quick pre-show too before the game.
That's it. 10 o'clock on Sunday.
Yes.
We're going to rock it out, and we're going to rock it out because this has become the winning tradition, so we can't let it go. Good, better, better! Never let it rain! Never let it rain! You're going to get better! You're going to get better! You better get better! You better get better! Bears on 3! 1, 2, 3!
You know, he's a psychopath on the field, doesn't blink. I think Kyle Brandt said, a fly could land on his eye and you'd never know he was there. And then he goes in the locker room and he's just he's like a heavy metal front man. He's just screaming his lungs out. Dude. I love Ben Johnson. I hope he's our coach for the next 20 years.
Hope he's coaching.
I do too, man.
Yeah.
Cliff says, Kyle, if you're listening, take vitamin D. It'll help prevent future illnesses. Kyle's
I told my wife whenever she gets sick to take some vitamin J. It works.
Yeah. and I'll be honest. Kyle's been down a couple days. He got sick. He got sick after the Bears game on Sunday. But like I said, we're wishing you well, brother, and hopefully we'll get you back here
for sure
next week, my friend. You want to say no? You can't. You can't. No. Somebody wants to say hi over here.
Boo!
Hey, What's up, Avery?
Boo you.
Until next week, everybody. We love y'all. We thank y'all. We couldn't do this without y'all. We appreciate y'all. Bear down, everybody, as the Bears look for their 8th win and 9 ball games. Let's get it this Sunday on the lakefront. Bear down, everybody.
Bear down. Bear down.
And W. Avery.